When I told my parents, my grandparents, I was moving to Mexico, they were like, for what? They got drugs over there? I've never been interested in the cartel. I'm not interested in joining the cartel. I even feel like that's the boogeyman. If I say it the third time, they might appear, so I'm not even gonna say that name anymore in this video. But I think if you're not interested in joining the sea or you're not looking for them, they're not concerned. They're not out here checking for you. You're not out here checking for them. Y'all are good. Hey guys, it's Karina Worldwide coming. Child, this synthetic wig is dead. Yes, it's Karina Worldwide coming back to you with another video. Like, it feels so weird to even say that. Like, I've been gone, I think since like February, so what, 3 months? All right, I'm exaggerating, not 3 months. Like, maybe like a month and a half. I haven't done a video, but y'all, your girl has been busy. If you looked at my previous videos, you know that I moved to Mexico, Playa del Carmen to be exact, January of this year. It is now May, but let me tell y'all about this look too, because I look a mess. I'm ready to go home. I'm actually flying back to the States tomorrow to get my hair done, hopefully get my first COVID shot. Woo woo! I'm so excited about that. And then also to surprise my family. Like, they legit don't know I'm coming, and so they're gonna be super surprised. But enough about that. Everyone on social media has been asking me, like, how's your life in Mexico? How's it been? Like, what are you up to? And I was supposed to do a month update in February, didn't do it. And then I was supposed to do like a 2-month update, didn't do it. So now I'm like, you know what? It's May. I've been here since January. I can give you guys more information and give you more of a detailed update on what's going on. So yeah, like I said, I've been busy. Still living in Playa del Carmen. I actually just came back from Guatemala. My children's book is still doing well. Actually, in March, I did my first book reading at a school here in Playa del Carmen. It's called Colegio Inglés. I also started my pitch to brands like a boss, like feedback session. So there are several content creators like myself who have less than like 5,000 subscribers or followers, and they're interested in pitching to brands and getting sponsored deals. So I think I just had my 9th client for the pitch to brands like a boss, and basically I answer all of your questions. I give you an email template that you can use to pitch to brands, and then I also show you my media kit that I've created that is useful when you're pitching to brands. And it's useful because I think of a media kit like a resume. So when you're pitching to brands and you wanted to work with brands as an influencer or a content creator, you definitely need a media kit. Still working with Lovely Wholesale, and I appreciate you guys so much. I had to get a new discount code because so many people use my discount code, so it's no longer working. So had to get a new discount code, Karina W10 for Karina Worldwide, of course, 10% off. So you can use that discount code now with Lovely Wholesale. But let's talk about Mexico. How's Mexico treating me? For my last 2 videos here on YouTube before I took my hiatus and disappeared, they were involving like apartment searches, and then I finally found my apartment in Selva Nova, which is like a residential area on the outskirts of the downtown area in Playa. So I'm not in the downtown area, which is what I like, but it's on the outskirts, so it's about a 10-minute drive. I didn't know I was gonna like Playa del Carmen this much, so I only did a 2-month lease, and then once my 2-month was up, the landlord was like, okay, well, I'm moving back, so good luck. So I had to find an apartment, and thankfully I found an apartment like basically right next door in another apartment complex, and I actually love my apartments. Kind of the same setup, but more furniture, it's more spacious, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. And my rent is 15,000 pesos a month. So if you guys are interested in moving to Playa del Carmen, and I receive messages from people all the time who are interested, I actually have a realtor. If you message me, I definitely will forward you her WhatsApp information. She is awesome, like awesome, awesome, awesome. Y'all, real quick, I'm looking at myself in the camera and I'm like, girl, you know better than this. But y'all know I wake up early in the morning. It's 6 o'clock right now. Y'all know I get up at 5 to teach my students. And so I just threw this wig on like, you know what, let me just go ahead and knock this out, you know? So take it for love. Y'all know I don't be looking like this in real life, but no, actually I look worse. But yeah, so that's the apartment piece. Let me tell y'all, whenever people message me, the first thing they always ask me when it comes to like the culture and getting acclimated to different cultures is, how different is it from America? Stop right there. Number one, I am still in America. This is all America, y'all. And I know I'm going up on a quick tangent. It annoys me when foreigners come here and the locals ask them, where are you from? And they're like, America. But we all in America. Mexico is America, genius. So don't ask me that. But how different is it from the States? So if you've been following my journey for a while, then you know that I lived in China, lived in Thailand. So I lived in Asia for about 2.5 years, right? And so the reason why I love living in Mexico is because it is so close in terms of culture with the States. I am one of those people, like I said, I live on the outskirts. So I'm one of those people, I don't really be wanting to parlay with the foreigners like that. I'd rather spend time with locals. I'd rather spend time on the outskirts. Prices are cheaper. Food is better. Like there's a popular restaurant that you look on the blogs, everyone's saying, you need to go to El Fogón, El Fogón. No shade to El Fogón, right? But they have nothing on the food on the outskirts. Like if you go, like my favorite spot, Silo, yeah. I go there every week. Like every Monday I wake up and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna eat healthy, I'm gonna exercise, I'm gonna get 10,000 steps in, and then every Tuesday I go and eat 6 tacos. And that's just been my life the past few months, which is why I'm gaining so much weight. But in terms of the culture, I think because of where I live, it's super modern. You'll see way more foreigners. I think when I came in January, there were less foreigners because it wasn't really peak season. So now it's like spring, summer. I'm starting to see way more foreigners in my community. Like if you go downtown, of course they're gonna be there because that's where the resorts are, that's where the beach is. But even on the outskirts where I live, I'm seeing yoga mats everywhere. So you know what kind of foreigners I'm talking about. With most schools in the States, right, we learn Spanish. The issue is, I didn't retain that information. So coming here, the good thing also about Mexico versus China is I knew a lot of words or enough words to get by in Mexico. In China, I didn't really know anything. Another thing I don't like is when us entitled Americans come to different countries and we're just like, they don't speak English. Can you speak English? It makes me feel so bad when locals are like, oh, I'm so sorry, my English is not good. No, you don't need to apologize. I'm sorry that I don't know your language. I'm embarrassed. I should be embarrassed. So you don't need to apologize. But like, I got a little taxi bay. I'll tell you guys more about him soon, but he's been helping me with Spanish. And then I also enrolled in Spanish classes, which I think is super important. It hasn't been difficult acclimatizing, is that it? Myself to this culture because it is in some ways similar to the culture back home. I also think it's because I'm in more of a touristy area. So with Playa del Carmen, it's right in the middle of Cancun and Tulum. So if you're just all three of these cities, it's much easier than if you go to, you know, cities in the north that are not as popular. All right, life as a Black woman. I will say that is another plus for me. So when I moved to Mexico, I moved because I was just like, the States was becoming too much. I felt like I had been forced to stay here because I was living in China and then I came back for what was supposed to be a month-long vacation and my flights kept getting canceled because of the pandemic. And so I was just like, I'm not leaving China on my terms and I don't want to stay in the States anymore. So I moved to Mexico. And Mexico was supposed to be like my stopping point until I got my visa renewed and I was able to return back to China. But now I'm kind of like, I like it here in Mexico. I don't know if I'm gonna ever return to China, or if I do, it probably won't be this year because I really do like my life in Mexico. And I also think when it comes to living as a Black woman who is traveling solo, I think the experience is much better and it's not as harsh. So moving to China where most people look like each other. I am 5'10", so I'm super tall. So I'm taller than most of the people there. I am darker than most of the people there. I didn't want to say fatter, but I am bigger than most of the people there. So of course people are gonna stare, people are gonna be like, and they don't deem those three things as beautiful. Like maybe tall, yes, but I'm plus size. I have darker skin. That's not typically viewed as beautiful in Asian cultures or Asian countries. But in Mexico, they're like, oh, gorgeous girl. Now, I am aware that in a lot of countries, Black women are viewed as fetishes, right? And so it is that fine line of, okay, do you like me or do you see me as beautiful, or is it kind of like, oh, I see in the media they're twerking and stuff, and I finally see me a twerker in person. So it's that. But so far so good. Like I haven't had any real issues. And I was talking to my friend, I will talk about it now, but Taxi Bay. So I met Taxi Bay on Instagram, right? He followed my page, and then after following my page, we just began conversing. And I actually hit him up because I was looking for my second apartment, and I was just becoming so overwhelmed. And so he was just like, no problem, I'll help you. And that has actually blossomed into like this beautiful friendship. I was thinking about doing a video with him, just talking about, his views on like Black women or Blacks and, as a Mexican or something like that. I don't know. But I think it would be cool. Maybe ask him a few questions, because he has said that several times, like, why is there so much racism in the States? Why are y'all so racist? He says that all the time. Back to what I was saying. I think life as a Black woman, I think it's fine. I don't have any issues. I've heard from several women where they're just like, they feel like they were targeted because they are Black. But it could be that I don't pay attention to stuff like that unless it's very obvious. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I am guilty of having like Black people's PTSD, where I walk into the store and somebody starts following me. I start looking crazy like, oh, can I help you? Like, you think I'm trying to steal something? Girl, I'll buy this whole store out. Stop playing with me. So I do have that. But a lot of times I just kind of don't pay attention to a lot of stuff. Someone asked me, did I feel safer in China than I do here? And I also think these questions are asked because of the media, that the things that are shown to us through the media in the States, right? When I told my parents, my grandparents, I was moving to Mexico, they were like, for what? They got drugs over there. You're gonna be a drug mule, all kind of stuff, right? My thing is, I've never been interested in the cartel. I'm not interested in joining the cartel. I even feel like that's the boogeyman. If I say it the third time, they might appear, so I'm not even gonna say that name anymore in this video. But I think if you're not interested in joining the sea, or you're not looking for them, they're not concerned. They're not out here checking for you. You're not out here checking for them. Y'all are good. But I will say, like, in my area, it is safe to me. Like, I've walked to the store. I've walked around my area, my neighborhood in the middle of the night. But it's also because where I live, there are apartment complexes just up and down the street, and they all are gated by 24-hour security, and they all have cameras. So that is probably why. In China, it was the same situation, but I always felt like I'm bigger than them. I know they don't have guns because it's illegal. No one has guns, not even the cops. So it was kind of like that thought process. But I still feel safe here, and I feel much safer here than I did in the States. So dating. All right, so let me give you my update on dating. So I've gone on, I'm not gonna count the specific number of dates that I've gone on, but I've been out with 4 guys since I've been here, and I met 2 of them from Tinder, 1 just walking down the street, and then another one, we have mutual friends, because I've been to Mexico before. I came in August of last year for my birthday, so I met up with a few Black people. We still keep in contact, and so that's how I met up with the first guy. And yeah, I'm sweating because I don't want the AC to be on and it make too much noise, so you know what. So when I was living in the States, it was he has to be Black, gotta be tall, gotta be funny, need to have money, blah, 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 right? But those were the top, like, you need to be Black. But when you're traveling abroad or when you're living abroad, you realize, like, maybe he don't really gotta be Black, or, maybe he don't gotta be that tall. You start looking more so at, like, inner qualities and personality traits and what they can bring to the table, and you know how they make you feel, as opposed to, okay, well, you're nice but you're not black, or you know, you don't meet my standards. So I think me living abroad and dating abroad, it helps me with thinking outside of the box. Like, I'm more in tune with the vibe you give than, you know, how you look, or if you're black, or if you're American. I did a dating in China video. I don't know if anybody has watched it, but yeah, it was crazy. It is not as crazy or not as difficult dating in Mexico like it was in China. And I think it's because Mexico is so close to the States that everyone comes here for vacation, or everyone is moving here now. So it's super easy to build that connection. The issue is the people who are here on vacation, sometimes they be having whole families back home. How does that work? But other than that, it's been pretty interesting. Also, I'm not really in the space where I'm pressed on dating. Like, if the connection happens and we're vibing, then that's cool. But if not, then it's like, all right. I'm really in tune with just working on myself. And I know that sounds cliche, but that's what we are with it. And with my taxi bae, I don't really need much for dating. Like, let me tell y'all, when y'all meet taxi bae, y'all gonna be like, oh, I love him. Like, I introduced him on social media like 2 months ago, and everyone's always like, where's taxi bae? When I went to Guatemala, I went out on, you know, maybe 1 or 2 dates, and I posted it in my stories, and people are like, oh, and how does taxi bae feel about this? You're very rude. I'm like, oh, y'all team taxi bae, and he loves it too. All right, transportation, getting around, being mobile. So different parts of Mexico, they have like subway systems. They don't have a subway system here. They have like taxis, colectivos, which are like big buses that you can get on, like regular transportation buses. And I'm talking about local transportation as opposed to like going from city to city. But yeah, taxis are everywhere. It's not difficult to get a taxi. There's no Uber here in Playa del Carmen, but there are some cities in Mexico where they do have Uber. And then walking. So it depends on where you live. If you live close, you can walk. So for me, taxi bae usually takes me everywhere I need to go. If not, then I just use a regular taxi. But like I said, taxis are everywhere. The only thing I will say to you, right? And some people are like, they don't care. But there are tourist prices, and then there are local prices. For example, from my house to the beach is a 10-minute drive, right? Usually costs 50 pesos. But if you're like going there and they drop you off and you don't ask, they might try to charge you 200 pesos. Now, 200 pesos is not a lot. Just imagine if you're getting charged and overcharged every day. 200 pesos adds up. Before I even start to move, I don't even close the door. I get in and I say, this is where I need to go, Cuanto es. I hate when I speak Spanish. It doesn't even sound Cuanto es. One day I'm gonna get the little roll of the tongue, but right now, Cuanto es. And they'll tell you like, oh, okay, 50, which is usually what I pay to go to the beach, 50 pesos. And if it's more, if I'm like, okay, it's hot, I don't feel like waiting. If it's 70, 80, yeah. But if you're like 100, 150, then I just get out the taxi. Colectivos, I haven't used it because of the pandemic, and sometimes these buses look super crowded, and so with the taxi, it's more private. So I prefer taxis. When it comes to going to the airport, it costs maybe 40, 50 bucks, but taxi bae takes me to the airport, so. And y'all know you can't have taxi bae, so don't even ask. If you live downtown, it's gonna be much easier because you can walk. But when I was apartment hunting, that was very important to me, like being mobile, being able to walk. So the Walmart is about a 20-minute walk from my house. And so some days in the morning, I'll just walk, get my stuff from Walmart, and then take a taxi back. The grocery, not the grocery store, it's like a corner store. There are Oxxos, which are like 7-Elevens. They're everywhere, and they sell like, it's just like a 7-Eleven. So they sell everything that a 7-Eleven would sell. There you go, right down the street. So that's like a 3-minute walk. But, oh, and then there's also a mall that has really cute stores and stuff, and a movie theater, and it's about a 15-minute walk from my house as well. So I'm not downtown by choice, but I love where I live, and if I stay here, I will continue to live in this area. I don't want to leave. Food! Y'all, you see how sweaty I'm getting, child? Ooh, food. So I've always said, Thai food is number one, Mexican food is number two, and then New Orleans cuisine is number three, right? Mexico is giving Thai food a run for its money because, once again, living in China, right? The food was rarely seasoned. But in Mexico, oh, they throwing everything up in there. They seasons their food. Child. I want to say I've gained at least 20 pounds since January. And I'm over here trying to lose it now, but the food is just so good here. And like I said, if you're on the outskirts, you're gonna get like that real authentic Mexican cuisine. Like, not to say you won't get it downtown, but the food in the restaurants downtown, they don't come close to the food on the outskirts. Working remotely. So I thought it would be a little difficult living in Playa del Carmen, right next to the beach where everything's going on, and I'm living in this area and I'm working, but I've found that I spend more time in my house. Like, I am a homebody. And before moving to China, I like to be out and about when I lived in the States. But I think like living abroad, it's kind of like made me more selfish with my time. When it comes to remote work, it's just being committed, knowing that if you don't work, you don't eat, or if you don't work, you cannot live here, because this is not like China where they're paying my bills and my rent. I have to still pay my rent, so I can't play games. So that is enough to push you to be committed and to be productive, is knowing that you still got to pay your bills now. You're back in the real world. Another reason why I really like Mexico is because I can go home when I please. Like I said, I'm going home tomorrow. In China, I couldn't do that, and then it was like an 18-hour flight. That was a long time. Here in Mexico, it takes me like a 2.5-hour flight. 2.5-hour flight, yeah, and then I fly into Charlotte. And then I take an hour and a half to get to South Carolina. So at most 5 hours and I'm home. From start to finish, I'm home. So I love that I can still see my family and friends and enjoy my life abroad at the same time. But yeah, working remotely has been pretty cool. Traveling, so I haven't done much traveling since I moved here. I've been back to the States. This will be my third time back to the States since January. What else? And I went to Guatemala. And of course, I've been to like neighboring cities in Mexico. But in June, I'm hoping to actually branch out and go to more cities in Mexico, but then also other countries in Central America. Like, I really enjoyed my time in Guatemala. And I'm excited, but that's been my update. I'm definitely gonna show you guys a tour. I'm definitely gonna change this wig out, throw it in the trash. It feels good to be back. I promise you I'm gonna be way more consistent. And I will see you guys soon. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, that's just been an update on what I've been up to since January. If you guys have any questions, or you want me to talk about something in a future video, or in a detailed video about something I touch bases on in this video, feel free to comment below, ask your questions below, hit me up on my DMs on Instagram or via email. Everything is below, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
To stay updated on what's going on in Karina's world, please click the subscribe button. Don't forget to like and share. Ciao.